So some shocking and breaking news coming in the last couple of minutes. So it's literally just broken on social media right now. We're going to have way more about it later on today, but it is just breaking as we speak. And that is that WWE has announced that former WWE Universal Champion, former WWE Champion, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, whatever you want to call him, has been released by WWE. Again, this is a story that's just breaking in the last couple of minutes or so we don't have too much information about it. But WWE has just released the following statement on their website. It was a really strange situation as well. We'll get to that in a second, but this is a statement that WWE has just released. It's very short. It's very simple. It simply says, WWE has come to the terms of the release of Bray Wyatt. We wish him the best in all of his future endeavors. So Bray Wyatt has been released by WWE. Really bizarre circumstance how this happened. I just happened to be on my phone at the time, so I felt it and reacted to it straight away. But essentially, WWE put out a tweet that said that they had come to the release of Bray Wyatt. And then it was deleted. It vanished. So the initial tweet said simply, WWE has come to the terms of the release of Bray Wyatt. We wish him the best in all of his future endeavors. That then disappeared. So then you have discussions going, okay, is this going to be a hack? Is this someone logging into the account that wasn't meant to? What's going on here? But it was broken straight away by the likes of Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. He then released the following tweet that said, quote, Bray Wyatt has been released by WWE per a now deleted tweet from the company. Fightful had only heard minutes before that he was being cut. Sean Ross Sapp has said he doesn't know if any more releases are coming. But once again, WWE had then just announced this themselves. They have confirmed the following, that Bray Wyatt has been released by the WWE. Again, it's a shocking story. It's probably, of all the stories that are going on right now, whether it's CM Punk signing with AEW, Daniel Bryan signing with AEW, John Cena coming back to WWE, challenging Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, Goldberg returning, all of this stuff that's going on right now in the world of professional wrestling, this is right up there. This is right up there with one of the most shocking stories in a long time, because Bray Wyatt is one of the most talented, one of the most creative, one of the most unique pro wrestlers out there right now. It's beyond shocking, and I know that there is probably a lot more regarding this, and I'm sure a lot more will come out about this over the course of the next hours, days, weeks, months, etc. But it doesn't change the fact that this is absolutely stunning. This is absolutely stunning news, and again, apologies if I'm a bit scattered by this. We are literally reacting to this right now. We're reacting to this right now because this is literally just happened, and it really is shocking. It really, really is shocking and very surprising. Of course, we haven't seen Bray Wyatt for a while, and now obviously this is going to lead people to speculate. People will begin to speculate, which I don't know is necessarily fair, but it is going to lead people to speculate a lot because, again, we haven't seen Bray Wyatt since WrestleMania compete inside of a WWE ring. The last time we saw Bray Wyatt in a match was at WrestleMania. It was against Randy Orton. WrestleMania 37, Night 2, opened with Randy Orton versus The Fiend. Now, this was the Fiend's first match since TLC the prior year, when Randy Orton, of course, set The Fiend on fire. And then he took some time off of television to salve those injuries. Eventually, he comes back at Fastlane in that scarred-up, charred-up version of The Fiend. He was resurrected by Alexa Bliss. And then at that event, which he was scheduled to beat Randy Orton, he was scheduled to defeat Randy Orton. Apparently, reports are that the day of the event, the decision was made to change the result. Randy Orton wins. Alexa Bliss turns on Bray Wyatt. And the following night on Raw, we saw an edition of the Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt in it. He talks about making new changes, having a fresh start, and we haven't seen him since. And nobody really knows what's going on with Bray Wyatt right now. Nobody knows. There have been rumors and reports about, you know, that it wasn't a creative issue, and he was being kept off of television for a purposeful reason. He was going to be off television because of a certain specific reason. We don't know what that is. I'm not going to speculate on that. I really don't think that's fair. We'd seen other reports about that I thought were complete BS, and you have to check your sources. And I think this is going to be an important story once again to make sure you check where you get your information from, because right now there's going to be a lot of misinformation about this story, I think. But ultimately, I'm still, as I'm recording this right now, I think I'll record this video just to give a reaction, and we'll probably go live on YouTube as well. But it's shocking. My initial reaction is pure shock. I really don't. I really can't believe it. I really can't believe it. This is a guy that, again, the creativity that this guy has brung to WWE has been unbelievable. And the amount of times that this guy's had to deal with poor booking, mismanagement of great characters, great concepts, great promos, great matches, you really feel for the guy. I certainly have felt for the guy a lot during his WWE career. You know, he was Husky Harris in NXT Season 2, and that's a horrible name, it's a horrible gimmick and all that kind of stuff. He then is in the Nexus for a hot second before he gets sent back to developmental. When he's back in developmental, he comes up with this new gimmick, this Bray Wyatt character, which is a bit of a play on the whole Waylon Mercy, Cape Fear, that kind of thing. Totally original, absolutely fantastic. Does that in NXT, gets called up to the main roster, initially gets a push. I mean, he debuted against Kane, the Ring of Fire match at SummerSlam 2013, 8 years ago at this point. And then what happens? He got fed to John Cena, lost, and then after that, again, he was a guy that had this great gimmick, this unique gimmick, could cut amazing promos. The matches were okay, but it was really the character, the promo, that was so great about Bray Wyatt in WWE. And it was just booked horribly. Every time there was a big match, he lost. And what happens because of that? You know, this guy that talks about being the new face of fear, or the guy that talks about being this supernatural, different kind of manipulating gimmick, all this kind of stuff. How can you take that guy seriously when he just loses? Time and time again, all he does is lose. You can't take that guy seriously. And he was booked so badly and mismanaged so badly, he had to go away. He had to go away and completely reinvent himself, come up with something different once again. You think that most people can't come up with anything creative in their career, let alone twice. He reinvented himself again, came back with this other version of the Bray Wyatt character, the Firefly Funhouse character, right after WrestleMania 35, comes back with the Firefly Funhouse character. Those vignettes, which were such a departure from what he once was, and they were unique and they were different. Then he brings out the Fiend character, and everyone's saying, look, this is this generation's version of The Undertaker. This is, not that you want to put anyone in that box, but this is what it is. This is this generation's version of The Undertaker. This is something special. This is something unique. His entrance at SummerSlam in 2019 against Finn Balor was just so fantastic. I mean, the match itself, people don't talk about the match because they don't need to. It was the entrance, and everyone went, wow, we are in for something really special here. And even with that, something that you would think you can't screw that up. Even that, they managed to eventually mismanage it and get it wrong. For a while, they got it right, but even some of the aesthetics involved in that, and the red lights in the Fiend's matches, and feeding him to Goldberg. His first match that he lost was against Goldberg in Saudi Arabia, which I'm still not over because it was a horrendous decision. And even John Cena, bless him, tried to put him over, or the plan was to put him over at WrestleMania 36 in the Firefly Funhouse match, which was very good. I enjoyed that. But even the booking of the Fiend after that, it just, we got moved to Raw, and the Randy Orton stuff that became too hokey, and all that kind of stuff, and the feud with Orton that went on too long. Look, we can talk about that till the cows come in, and I probably will on YouTube after this once we go live, and this is just going to be the initial reaction video. Then we'll go live on YouTube and take some of your questions about it. But, I mean, my initial reaction to it right now is shock. Absolute shock. And I know people are going to be talking about now, does he go to AEW? We don't know the situation right now, if he's healthy and if he's ready. We saw a recent picture of him. I think we talked about it yesterday here on the channel. There was a video of him, a fan snapped a picture of him in a local grocery store, I think it was, and he looks great. Physically, he looks great. I mean, again, we don't know what's really going on right now, but he looks great. Physically, he looks great. Looks to be in the shape of his career right now. But for whatever reason, he wasn't being used on television. Again, according to reports online, on social media, that wasn't because of a creative reason. He was well-liked. We've heard that. That must be said as well. He was well-liked backstage as well. But the reason as to why he wasn't being involved on television wasn't said. So I don't know. I would love to know a reason as to why he's been released. There's got to be a reason, and we don't know what that reason is right now, and it's unfair to speculate as to what that reason is. I still, as I'm recording this video right now, I'm totally in shock. I can't believe one of the most creative, one of the most unique, and one of the most talented stars in recent WWE history is gone, and it's absolutely shocking, and I really don't know how to react, what to say to that. It's such a shame. It really is such a shame. Again, a guy that is so talented, so talented, and came up with some of these most unique and incredible concepts and characters. It feels like a waste. And the crazy thing is, I say it feels like a waste, even though the guy is former one-time WWE champion, two-time Universal champion, and I'm still saying that's a waste because it was. Because this guy could have been your next Undertaker. This guy could have been anything. And I mentioned it a couple of times before, and this isn't a shot at Alexa Bliss. Trust me, it isn't. But you've got Alexa Bliss doing the Bray Wyatt character, and Bray Wyatt's off television. We don't know why. But ultimately, right now, I'm completely shocked. And again, I'm hesitant to really react more until we know more information about it, because we don't right now. But I'm totally shocked. And I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot to say about this. But the news breaking as of right now is that Bray Wyatt, former WWE Universal Champion, WWE Champion, has been released by WWE. There were rumors he was going to return in August or possibly over the course of the next few months. Of course, that's not happening. And every time Bray Wyatt got some momentum in WWE, they cut him off at the knees for whatever reason, whether it's the new face of fear, whether it's the Wyatt family, whether it's whatever. It's a shame. And I think right now, I've just mentioned the Wyatt family there. The Wyatt family, every single member of that Wyatt family is no longer with the WWE. And I think that speaks volumes to WWE's ability to mess up what could be and what was great. And it's just a massive shame. It's a massive shame. So, of course, once we have more information about this, we will talk about it here on the channel. But Bray Wyatt has been released by WWE, just breaking. I'm still struggling for words. Still breaking in the last couple of minutes. Once we have more information, we'll talk about it here on the channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, because we'll be talking a lot more about this over the course of the next few hours and days. Thanks.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.